Hello.
And welcome to Film Bastards.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to episode 563 of Film Bastards. My name is Ian Loring, and as always, I'm joined by
Matt Foster. Hello, everybody.
Hello, one and all. Hope you are all doing well. Coming up on this week's show, we've got a couple reviews for you. We have an Oscar botherer, baby. We've got Ralph Fiennes trying to get a pope elected through subterfuge and unexpected twists at the end in Conclave.
Yep.
And we've also got Jack Black being a very naughty Santa in Dear Santa. We'll have some trailers, what we've been watching. Actually, I don't know whether we'll have any trailers. We'll find out.
We might find out on that, because we might not actually.
Yeah, no, quite. We're recording on Monday. We recorded Wednesday last week, and I feel like we talked about quite a few like bigger trailers for Moana last week. So, yeah. So there we are. We are a Pod Syndicate podcast, so please do listen to like-minded shows such as The Rewatch Project, Chin Stricker vs. Punter, The Good, the Bad, the Odd, and Entertainment Landfill. And do we have any trailers, Mark?
Do we? That's what I'm thinking. Do we? We must. I don't think we do, you know. We don't. We don't have any trailers, no. I think part of this is because you did, because you went to see Moana 2, didn't you? But I didn't go to the cinema this week. Yeah. I mean, apparently they've released the first 8 minutes or an 8-minute segment of Kraven the Hunter.
Cool.
It's just like the film's out soon. It doesn't need you to release like the 8 minutes. It's such a weird build up to that film. It was finished like 18 months ago and was supposed to come out a year ago. And yeah, they must think it's garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm somewhat interested in that because, you know, it's R-rated. They seem to be going quite it's violent. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll watch Aaron Taylor-Johnson be stabby.
Yeah, I watch Aaron Taylor-Johnson be stabby and without a shirt on, and Russell Crowe turns up at one point.
Yeah.
Go on, then.
My son, I am Russian. I am a bad man, and you are also bad, and I should have been in the Cats sequel Dogs. Woof, woof.
Woof, woof.
Woof, woof.
I mean, also, it's J.C. Shandon, which just is a bit like... Why? Go on, then. So,
yeah. Do it for the money, baby. Do it for the money.
So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah. All right. That feels like that's it then.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Let's do this. So, Becky is not here yet.
Nope.
And she is not borne witness.
Nope.
To the majesty of Dear Santa, which I did not know until the credits, is directed by Bobby Farrelly. So is this his follow-up to the greatest beer run ever, or is that the other Farrelly?
I think that's the other one. It's his follow-up
Okay.
to Champions, the comedy with Woody Harrelson in it.
Oh, yeah, that. Okay. Man, things just come out now, don't they?
Yeah.
Things just come out.
Yeah, it's his follow-up to that. Which was alright, actually.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was. But he had to tell the story of Dear Santa, which stars Jack Black, Robert Timothy Smith, Keegan-Michael Key, Brianne Howie, Hayes MacArthur, Post Malone in an actually like weirdly quite substantial part, PJ Byrne and others. So, when a young boy mails his Christmas wish list to Santa with one crucial spelling error, a devilish Jack Black arrives to wreak havoc on the holidays. Yeah, Dear Santa. Mark, I I kind of feel like you are going to be positive on this. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I'm not. It's an odd one, in the sense that I don't know why it's called Dear Santa, because it doesn't kind of make sense.
No, Lottie said afterwards that should have been called Dear Satan, and I can't disagree.
Yeah, and even if Dear Satan was a little bit too obvious, which I don't even agree with that argument, because I have seen that argument from some people, and I don't really agree with it. Just Dear Santa doesn't make sense at all, so that kind of irked me. We're gonna go all spoilers all the time. I didn't like the fact that it turns out he's not actually Satan. Felt a little bit like, why? It was better when he was. Jack Black is clearly having an awful lot of fun. The film is kind of let down by the fact that in a similar way to the Home Alone, is it Home Alone 4? I think it is the recent one they did for Disney Plus.
Home Sweet Home Alone.
Yeah, that. This suffers again in a similar vein to that, whereby the lead kid is just annoying and you don't really like him. This suffers from that as well, and you have to spend an awful lot of time with him. But it's got some fun jokes in it and some silliness. An awful lot more silliness than I was expecting. And randomly Post Malone, for like you say, a way bigger part than I think that even Post Malone thought it was going to be. It's like they booked him for a day. It's basically Jack Black's gone, look, I want you to do this movie because I think it'll be really cool. We're gonna have this. Will you do it? We're mates. Me and you, Post. We're mates. And he's gone, yeah, I'll do it. I've got a day that I can do it for here. And he's like, yes. And then they filmed that bit, and Post Malone was like, I'm here for the rest of the day. Can we do more? Because that's sort of like a minute.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's funny. There was, I think you commented on it. There's a child molestation joke within it at one point.
Yep, good stuff.
There's a couple of other kind of more random jokes in it. It's got a really dark conversation between the parents at one point that is just a bit like, is this a bit much for this film? I don't feel like it needs this. Just the parents are arguing because, life is hard. Seems good enough. It didn't need dead brother, mother thinks that father blames her and father actually blames himself because he was playing golf. That was a little bit weird. But overall, it's too long. It should be quarter of an hour shorter.
Yep.
But overall, I had enough fun with it for a Christmas movie. Will it enter absolute rotation? Probably not. But will I, in a couple of years' time, probably watch it again? Probably on my lunch break at work in December. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, I thought it was all right. It is definitely too long. It's about an hour and 50 minutes long. It's got... I kind of thought the third act in general, where it's like, all right, now the kid doesn't think he has a soul and he's not very nice to people, was a bit... Why are we going down this road?
Yeah.
And then the ending, it is like, what? They brought the kid brother back from the dead. What?
Yeah. And the kid brother could not... they couldn't have cast a kid that looks more like them, not a real human.
Yeah, no, yeah.
More than that kid from fucking... What's it? The kid who had to prove he was real? That was in...
Oh, shit.
What was it called? The Joaquin Phoenix movie.
Yeah, Beau's Afraid.
Yes,
yeah.
The kid who had to prove he was real.
Lad, yeah.
This kid in this looks less like a real kid.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Jack Black's, he never phones it in.
Nope.
And he's definitely not here. He never phones it in, but also I don't think he ever does anything different. Is probably fair. You know, he even does a skibidi-boo-doo-doo at one point.
Yeah, and he does that weird little run he does where he kind of like lifts his knees up really quickly and kind of like makes a face and goes wah a little bit.
Yeah,
he does that, but it made me laugh.
No,
And
but
it's just-
I mean that's
bit-
the thing.
the bit
If you
there,
enjoy
sorry.
the one joke, it's good.
Yeah, the bit there where he runs into Post Malone's, what is it? And there's a guy stood at like the doors, and as Jack runs by him, he goes, "Howdy!" at him. But it's like in the background, it's like, it didn't need that. That's just Jack Black. And the guy just starts laughing. And it's almost like he's done that. And Bobby Farrelly's gone, fuck, let's just leave it in, because it was just kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. It does go to some darker places from time to time. I mean, it was interesting. Like, I actually watched it on Paramount Plus because it was easy to access. And when it started, it said 15 plus. I was like, bloody hell, what, this? Really? And then I went on the BBFC website and it was a 12, so it was like, all right, it's okay for the kids then. But I could kind of see why Paramount Plus might be that with the child molestation joke is a bit whoa, all right, and thematically, that conversation, like you say, between the parents is just a bit rough. But then you've also got Jack Black doing Jack Black stuff, and then it's all spearheaded by a kid who it feels like is not an actor.
No.
Is just a kid who is literally just reading lines.
Yeah, and constantly moving his arms up and down and backwards and forwards like a totally normal person would do. It was just... that first scene where he's talking to his parents, it was almost like Brianne and Howie and Hayes MacArthur were just looking, going, shit.
Yeah.
Why did we do this?
It's I don't know, it's just got an air of content to it, but it's content but with Jack Black. So if it didn't have Jack Black in it, it would just be pure filler. And I think he adds enough to it to make it a mild, definitely not shit.
I definitely give it a mild, definitely not shit. I think that there's enough fun in there. It's also it's powerfully not Christmassy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks like it looks like it was shot in the middle of summer.
And there's barely any there's mentions of Christmas, but there's nothing really happens at Christmas apart from a weird likeness of... I don't know, this might be what goes on in American fucking households, but the parents are just in the fucking kitchen having wine and making cookies while the kid is just sat opening his presents alone. It feels a bit... I mean, fucking hell. Just sit with the fucking kid. He's just come back to life.
Yeah. It's it's just a batshit ending.
Yeah.
Because then, like, the pony comes in and stuff as well. It's like, right, what's going on? Like, it had an air of the ending of Krampus to it, where it's like, yeah, something's not right here.
Yeah, something isn't right. Yeah.
It was like, what, are they just going to be trapped in Jack Black's snow globe or something, you know?
But it's like the weird, not quite sequel setup, but also not a sequel setup of like the fucking... I told you your brother was dead. And it just feels a little bit like... what I want in my Christmas movies, even my bad ones, if you're going to make a bad Christmas movie, you need to over-Christmas it. You need to just fucking throw loads of fucking Christmas at it so that you'll go, do you know what, that was shit, but man, it was Christmassy. Whereas this was just a bit like, that was almost shit, but there was no Christmas in it, really. And that's what kind of bothered me. The PJ Barn shitting himself was... I was watching it going, I feel really bad that I'm laughing. I'm internally laughing as much as I am at this. This... As a 42-year-old man, this shouldn't make me laugh this much. But, man, that guy sells that.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's just... You pay Jack Black whatever you pay him, and he does the Jack Black thing, and it makes you feel more entertaining.
Yeah. But I do get the feeling now that somebody will be sat there watching it going, he looked fucking good in that Santa costume. Like, he looked good in that fucking Santa costume. Like,
oh, yeah.
If we're going to make a sequel, which we're probably not going to, but if we were going to, we'd just call it Dear Santa 2, and he is actually Santa. Like, he's actually a trainee Santa that he just, like, fucking randomly applied for it, like, in the background afterwards was like, you know, I got kicked out of hell, can't go to hell. Thought I'd go to the North Pole, see what was going on there. Boom, yeah. I'm a trainee Santa.
Which yeah.
Would probably be a better
you could see it. You could see it, yeah. For sure.
But yeah, it's definitely not shit.
Yeah, it's fun enough.
It's just fun enough, but just quarter an hour longer, quarter an hour shorter, and more Christmas.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't pay anything to see it.
No, and I probably would have been more mildly disappointed I'd have seen it in the cinema at Christmas and it not be that Christmassy.
Yeah, for sure.
Our audience poll, 50% definitely touching cloth and 50% shit. Which I think is kind of fair enough. I think totally. I think maybe between us, I think we're both a bit more lenient on Christmas movies.
I think that's fair. The amount of Netflix shite I watch, yeah, I'd say so.
Which I'm kind of all right with. I'm kind of happy with the fact that I can just kind of enjoy Christmas movies and not have to worry about any sense of, well, should I be enjoying this?
Cool. What have you been up to?
Ooh, what have I been up to? So, I watched. I decided the other night when Bex was out for the evening and was staying away, and I thought, do you know what? I can't. It's difficult to cook for one. I find because if you want to make something nice, you don't want to put all that effort in and then sit down and kind of like eat it yourself because you're almost a little bit like, well, I've kind of. I feel like when I cook, I feel like I smell like the thing I've cooked for like until I've had a shower. And so I didn't want to feel like I smelt like what I'd cooked for ages. So Becky said, well, why don't you get a takeaway? I thought I'm kind of off bread and everything. So I went and got myself a Chinese. And me and Bex have a rule between us where I will get drinks. So I will go to the bar every time we go anywhere. Happily. We'll always walk up to the bar. We'll never make Becky go. But she does food. So if we're doing like takeaway, I'll go and pick it up, but she needs to ring up. And I realised I actually haven't ordered a Chinese in probably 25 years because, you know, I don't normally get them so low. And I got confused in the Chinese like I would do in a train station. I just started saying things. So did all that, went off, got myself some ice cream and got myself a bottle of Pepsi, came back with my massive, like, fucking bag of Chinese food because I'd ordered way fucking too much. And sat down and decided to watch the 1998 Godzilla. Sorry. Because don't think I've actually seen this since the cinema. And remember not a lot about it, apart from there used to be a... Do you remember the TV show called Movies, Games and Video? Oh, well, I'll show you.
That's because I muted myself because the dog was barking. Yes, I remember movies, games, and videos.
So,
Absolutely.
I remember my most vivid memory of Godzilla is actually nothing about the film. It's about watching movies, games, and videos one Saturday morning when I hadn't slept, and the reason why I hadn't slept is because I was on a combination of tequila, weed, and some form of acid. And I remember just sitting there and finding it incredibly amusing how Jean Reno said Matthew Broderick's name. And that is all that's stuck in my head about Godzilla is Jean Reno calling him Matthew Broderick repeatedly, and just finding that really fucking funny. It's directed by Roland Emmerich, who, is one of my boys. I was really enjoying it up to a point, and then for me, this film just goes spectacularly off a cliff. And it's the point where Godzilla stops being a thing in it, and you have mini Godzillas running around. In
Madison Square Garden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, alright, this is good. Yes, Godzilla looks like crap. There was a picture that when he first came up and he turns around and he fucking looks at the screen. I burst out laughing because he looks fucking terrible, and it was just funny. But yeah, as soon as they get into Madison Square Garden, the film just drops off a fucking cliff, and it becomes just really weirdly boring and like low stakes. I'm watching it going, but hang on a minute. This is a Godzilla movie. Where's Godzilla? Because he turns up really fucking quickly in New York. Like, it's within 10 minutes he's in New York. I was like, well, fucking hell, he's gonna do some fucking damage in New York if he's there that quickly. Well, no, because you just don't see him for 40 odd minutes of the movie. It's weird that Matthew Broderick was still considered to be like an everyman kind of nerdy heartthrob at this point, and hadn't quite hit the point he hits in Election, where he's just a bit weird looking. Like his skin's kind of stretched a little bit too much, and he looks like he's almost see-through. I really liked Jean Reno as like head of the French Secret Service.
Yes.
Just wanting to find a really good cup of coffee and not being able to find it. And a really good joke of somebody going, he has a good coffee, goes, oh, I thought this was French coffee. And the guy just pops out from the corner and goes, I mean, it says French roast. And they're all sort of looking round. And you look at it going, well, yeah, like that would make sense that the guy would look at it and go, well, there's French coffee. It's not just a brand called French roast. Yeah, it's, you've got Simpsons alumni Hank Azaria and Harry Shearer in fairly prominent roles. Hank Azaria, who obviously does a lot of voices, seems to do about 15 different accents in this because he keeps on changing it. But I kind of had fun with it, but it does go off an absolute fucking cliff. Does Godzilla. I think it made money, but I think it just about made money and kind of it didn't make anywhere near enough for it to get any sequels or anything like that. It's weird that this was the first like American Godzilla movie. You'd think that had happened beforehand, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, Toho were like super protective of it. So it's weird that this is what happened.
Yeah,
but now, obviously, you got Godzilla stuff all over the bloody place. They seem to have really let loose.
Yeah, they seem to have basically gone, yeah, fuck it, anyone can do it. Anyone can do it, just as long as you put the Toho logo at the front.
Yeah, exactly.
Watched Planes, Trains and Automobiles because it was Thanksgiving on Thursday, and yeah, it seems like the only film I think that you should be allowed to watch on Thanksgiving. Because it is, even after like dozens of times, it's still an incredibly watchable yet sad at points movie. yeah, it's Planes, Trains and Automobiles. I guess people speak about it this time every year. And then I watched two movies from the past, well, not the past couple of years, but from more recent times. I remember enjoying them both, but I've not gone back to. So the first one was Jonah Hill's written and directed film mid-90s. I know we're not supposed to really mention Jonah Hill's name anymore because he's a bit of a creep, which is probably not a surprise to many people. But it's his film mid-90s about a young kid from a troubled, but not like serious troubled, but a mildly troubled home where he's got a abusive older brother who beats him up regularly, and the kid kind of indulges in bits of self-harm as well, and he sees like a way out of kind of his loneliness and misery as he becomes kind of infatuated by these skater kids, because I think the idea that it's supposed to put in on us, it's the kind of freedom and the carefree kind of attitude that they show, and so he ends up kind of falling into a group with like these three other skaters, Ray, the wonderfully titled fuck shit, who you never find out his real name. He just always refers to himself as fuck shit, and Ruben, and he gets kind of folded into their group and becomes popular within them because he's just kind of fearless. He will take any hits that he can get, and it's kind of, I mean, it was shot using it's in 4:3, and it was shot using 16mm film, and bits of it I think also was shot on VHS. There's another kid called Fourth Grade who kind of throughout the film is constantly filming them, and he's called Fourth Grade because it doesn't seem like he has anything higher than a fourth grade education. Right. I remember enjoying it when I watched it. I really enjoyed it on this rewatch. Like it really, it's kind of like, it's a shame that Jonah Hill is a bit of a douchebag, because there's definitely an eye, because it doesn't look fantastic because of that's almost intentional, because it's made to kind of have the patina and the kind of look of the 90s skate videos that were around everywhere, that were shot by skaters, and was a way that they used to, they basically self-fucking published them, and skate shops would sell them, and it's kind of to look like that. It's a culture that, obviously not US skate culture, which was a much bigger thing, but I do remember UK skate culture, and being around that and involved, not majorly involved in it, but being involved in it there, and you are looking at the like the clothes that they're wearing is very similar, and the pattern of language and the music, etc., is all kind of reminiscent of, you look at it and going, yeah, that is actually quite reminiscent of skate culture of the time. And he's also got Lucas Hedges is in it as his older brother. Do you remember him? He was like a big thing for about 18 months, and then nobody's heard of him since. But the real standout performance is Nikhil Smith, who's actually a skateboarder and a rapper, plays Ray in it, and he's got like a few really decent kind of chunky monologues where he's the more sensible of the crew, and kind of sees that that Stevie, the main kid in it, has kind of got some shit going on, and like there's a bit where Stevie's mum basically bursts into the skate shop and fucking chews them all out, because Stevie had come home like drunk after a party they'd been to, and then Stevie kind of flips out with her and just ends up just kind of a little bit broken and round the back of the skate shop, and Ray just comes out and gets this great sort of speech where he basically goes over, look, you've got these problems and you do have these problems, but fucking hell, everybody kind of has problems. You need to just work out a way to deal with them. And he basically goes, look, the best way I've found to deal with it is skate, so let's go. And you basically just get... It's been a lot of like hip hop soundtrack, and then you get it's a Morrissey B-side from Bone and Drag. I can't remember the name of the song now off the top of my head. So they've flipped it now, and you did have that element of that post-grunge element of rap was the key component to it all, but then there was fucking glam and grunge and new wave British music was all kind of getting mixed into this hodgepodge of genres that was being listened to by these kids because CDs and tapes were available. It was the first time where you could, we really had a lot of access to music. Obviously nowadays modern kids have a lot more, but it's all backdrop to this, and he basically just spends the entire night just skating with him, and then you get a great shot of them just waking up, just asleep in the park, and it just kind of lifts him out of this funk, and it's just I didn't expect it to kind of hit me as hard this time watching it as it did last time. I think I enjoyed it last time, but this time I was like, do you know what? That's a fucking corker of a movie, that is.
Nice.
I think having the sort of like lived through that culture, I think obviously helps your experience with it, because obviously to a much lower scale. But I fucking ran away from police with a skateboard when they've gone to try and bust where you've had big skate meetups and bits like that. So it was always kind of like a fun element of it, because it did used to be. Kids can skate most anywhere now. It did used to be illegal, and police were very hard on people. There was a kid in York who died because a police officer threw him through a shop window. And that happened in York too. I didn't know him, but I knew kids who knew him. And that was one of the things that actually softened on a wide sort of scale, the government started looking at it and saying, look, we need to kind of do something about this. There's this whole culture of kids where they're out skating and they are actually out doing something, and the majority of them are not actually causing destruction or anything like that, and a cop has just fucking killed one of them. And then I watched quite a maligned movie, and people are incredibly fucking wrong. I watched the remake of Ghost in the Shell.
Oh yeah,
the Rupert Sanders movie. I mean, it is a bang up, straight up remake of Ghost in the Shell, which is a fantastic anime, a really genuinely beautiful film. And this takes it in a different kind of direction, in the sense that, yes, there are outright, it's beat for beat, it's the same story, and there are outright shots that are lifted directly from the anime, which are lifted from the manga. But Rupert Sanders really does an awful lot with the budget, and just creating this world, and it is a staggeringly good looking movie throughout. And Scarlett Johansson, I know there was a lot of it's just whitewashing, and there is an element of, yeah, it kind of is. It kind of does explain it within the movie, but it is a little bit like, that's a little bit flimsy. You just wanted to cast Scarlett Johansson. And the problem is, yes, this movie didn't do very well and it backfired, but you don't get a 100+ million remake of an anime unless you have somebody like Scarlett Johansson in it. It was a swing and a miss in terms of casting, but unfortunately not for the reasons that I think people would like it to be seen as. But yeah, it's it's a great story to start off with, but it's also a really well done film. It looks fucking great. Michael Pitt playing essentially the hacker within that's trying to take things down, the earlier incarnation of her. He's really, it's just really good casting of him. He's got this, Michael Pitt's got a weirdness to him anyway. And then he's playing it with this stuttering voice, where also Robert Sanders is having it so his voice breaks up. The vocal track for his voice breaks up, but he's also doing this speeding and slowing down that you can tell isn't an after effect. It's him doing it for that. So it's a really, and his movements, his body movements are all really well done within that. Kuze, that's it. I can't remember his name. It's a really good movie. I get a feeling like this is one in a few years' time people are going to start going back to and going, well, do you know what? I always thought it was quite good, to be honest. It's like, no, I genuinely did think it was good the first time I watched it, and it's a fucking banger on rewatch.
Yeah, no fucker apart from us said that at the time.
No, I think we very much... it's similar for The Crow as well. We were in on the ground floor with that fucker as well.
Absolutely.
It really is a good-looking movie, and it's just... It feels like... the whole world feels real. It doesn't have that... It doesn't have that oddness where you're watching it going... I am palpably aware that what I am looking at there is a screen. I am watching via a screen actors acting in front of a screen that isn't even a green screen. It's one of those what's-it screens. And I think that it takes away a level of depth that I think is there. I think once your eyes kind of realise that you're not looking at depth, you're looking at an illusion of depth, it's hard to retrain your eyes to go back to it. Sometimes it probably is tricking you, but there's just other points where you're looking at it going, yeah, but that's not behind you, it's a screen that you're walking past. And it does lift you at the moment, and if the whole moment is the world around you, then it feels odd, and it's not tricking you like it's supposed to trick you. Like so often cinema has for literally over 100 years has used depth perception to kind of to fool people. But it just seems like the use of these screens that they're using, a lot of TV bits now that have now clearly moved into movies because it's cheaper, just feels a little bit like, yeah, but I can tell you're just in front of a big TV screen. I must watch the screen. Yeah, nah. But this don't have that. It feels real. It'll never happen again. But I'd love to see it in IMAX again.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, just like somebody just in a few years' time goes, do you know what was a fucking banger? That Ghost in the Shell remake. That should get a fucking re-release.
That'd be lovely if that happened.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson says, I will come back to Marvel on one condition. What? You re-release Ghost in the Shell on IMAX. And Disney going, well, we can't do that. She's going, all right, bye. And apart from the other movie we're going to talk about, that's me for this week. Oh, no, correction. I did start watching a TV show. So I started watching Bad Monkey. Oh
yeah, okay.
Because I've been told by both at separate occasions by both Mike of Chinstroke Punter and Captain Cuntface of this podcast that I should watch it because effectively it's just Fletch, but not Fletch, and Vince Vaughn is just fletching around. And yeah, it kind of is Fletch without it being Fletch, and Vince Vaughn is kind of just Vince Vaughning around. And I watched the first episode, and yeah, I liked it enough that I will watch more episodes. If I get to the end of episode 2 and it's not quite drawn me in more, then it'll probably be one of those things that I'll never finish. But so far, I think I'm definitely more in than, I'll give it another episode. I'm like, yeah, all right, I'm enjoying this. Don't normally enjoy TV, but this might be all right.
Nice.
What have you been up to, bud?
Yeah, got a couple of things. Pull it up now. So, I watched Oscar Botherer for the year, Emilia Perez. New film directed by Jacques Audiard, starring what's her name?
Selena Gomez.
No, nor Zoe Saldana. Carla Sofia Gascon.
Good, because my next guess was Maggie Smith.
Nice. So the aforementioned Carla Sofia Gascon. So mild spoilers for like the setup of Emilia Perez, which I didn't know. So, well, Zoe Saldana plays a lawyer, and she is basically abducted and taken to a cartel boss's. Well, it's like a moving command center or something. It's weird. And the mob boss basically says, I will pay you $2 million if you essentially secret me out of the country, basically make me dead, and arrange for me to get gender reassignment surgery.
Just seems really complicated.
Yeah.
Just do what Zooey Deschanel does and just change your hair.
Yeah, well, sure. Selena Gomez plays his wife. I'm saying his because in the film at the time the character is a he. But Gascon, I believe, plays the male. God, it's hard to get this right. Like the person at the beginning, and so they become Emilia Perez, and then Emilia and Zoe Saldana's character. Oh God, I'm not explaining this very well. So basically, death is faked. Then, like 4 years later, Emilia Perez says, "Right now, I want you to get my wife and my kid back because they moved to Switzerland, being told that their lives were in danger and the cartels were after them. Bollocks, obviously. Now bring them back, say everything's all right, and they're going to live with me." Even though Emilia Perez doesn't want to get with Selena Gomez or anything, but she wants to be close to her children and have her ex-wife live with them as well, thinking that she is her own sister. So she's the kid's aunt, who was a secret aunt.
Right.
And then Emilia Perez starts feeling guilty about about the killings and whatnot that she did. So she starts a non-profit with Zoe Saldana where she finds basically finds people who have been disappeared and like finds their bodies. All the while, every 10 minutes or so, there's either a full-on musical number or someone's doing some sing-songy dialogue. Zoe Saldana is like kind of front and center for a lot of it, but also not the main character. And Emilia Perez herself, I found, I did not vibe with the character at all. You want to be a woman because that's how you feel. That's what you feel you are in your body, and fair enough. But then you're also gonna make your ex-wife, who thinks you're dead, and your kids live with you and think that you're their aunt. And we're supposed to actually have some sort of positive emotional feeling towards you. 30 years ago, that would have been a horror film.
Yeah.
And it almost feels so left wing that it's kind of come back around again, and it is like actually kind of almost like offensive. I didn't get what it was going for at all. Zoe Saldana is great and kind of in a different film, and it's just got this air of we're all allies, but it feels like it. I don't feel like people who have had like actual gender reassignment surgery in real life are going to feel like they're being represented by a character who's doing like a pretty kind of reprehensible thing to their own family. I don't feel that community would particularly warm to the fact that a big splashy musical, Netflix musical directed by Jacques Audiard has got that particular character front and center as a trans character you're supposed to get behind. I don't get it.
It feels weird. So she's had gender reassignment not just to evade the authorities, but
because she feels like she's a woman inside.
Right.
She's always felt different.
Fair. That's all right, but it just feels...
That's fine.
It feels a little bit like... Yeah, it was awfully convenient that it also did the other bit, though.
Yeah. But, I mean, it is just the... And then you're going to get your ex-wife and your kids to live with you, and you're not going to tell them. And there's a song that one of the kids sings about how she smells like her dead dad. And it, like I said, it feels like it's crossed some sort of Rubicon. And obviously my cis white male viewpoint is very different from someone who has gone through gender reassignment surgery. But I don't know how they could also argue that you could actually have sympathy for this character who then does this. If they didn't do it and they were like watching from afar or something like that, then it'd be like, yeah, okay, there's a yearning there, I get it. To actually have them do this,
that.
and
and
I won't go into spoilers, but then it kind of sets up like an antagonist relatively late on that's just like, well, I take their point. And then, but then there's an ending which is like really bittersweet, and we want you to be moved. And no, and the whole kind of thing about the non-profit and that like having this thing about finding disappeared people, like wanting to repent there. I get that, sure, that's fine. I just don't get the emotional throughput of the film. It feels icky to me, and that's not because it's about a trans person wanting to seek connection with their family. It's the fact that it's basically they are forcing their old family to live with them and not tell them what's going on.
Yeah, it feels a little bit insidious.
Yeah, I feel like you can't make that be a character that I can get on with. You can't. So there you go.
It just feels like a little bit like they wrote too much. Like they had too much.
Yeah.
They kept on adding idea on top of idea and went, this is great. And then nobody's in the room going, not like it's a bit much.
Don't do it. Just have them admire the family from afar. But it kind of turns into this. It's not a million miles away from Mrs. Doubtfire in that way.
But and then they went, and also some musical.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there's none of the musical numbers are memorable at all, like at all. Real bizarre misfire, and it's a massive Oscar botherer, but it kind of feels like the only people who actually seem to like this film are white men who go to film festivals. It's real. I would have voted for Obama. I would have voted a third term for Obama if I could have. Cinema.
Yeah, it just doesn't. The more I've heard about it, the more I'm like, I just don't know why. Like, why?
It's like, and I'm not like, I'd never say like, oh, it's too woke or anything like that. It's not that. It's, I don't get why you would think that character doing that is supposed to be sympathetic. I don't. Your kid's singing you a song about how you smell like their dead dad, and you're really upset. Yeah, to be honest, I think you probably should be pretty fucking upset about that. Yeah. What are you going to do about it? Oh, nothing. Great.
It just sounds a bit. It just sounds too much like vaguely interested, just getting less interested. Just I don't even think I need to watch this.
No, and it's going to get nominated for Best Picture. I mean, like Carla Sevilla Gascon, like it looks like kind of a front runner for Best Actress, and I don't get that either. I mean, I think it's great a transgender a person is getting that kind of attention. It's for the wrong fucking role. It's because it's a Netflix film directed by Jacques Audiard, and people will feel like allies if they vote for it, and especially in a year where Trump's just regained the presidency.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, to like this gets nominated, the right are going to have an absolute fucking field day with it, and it's for a film that is not particularly worthy. So well done, everyone. And then I watched Moana 2. So saw Moana 2 with the family yesterday, and the thing is, I think I'm kind of an easy mark for Moana. I like the character, I like the world, I like the visual style. It is a step down. So they basically do a little bit of a Thanos with the bad guy in this, where the bad guy isn't in it and then rocks up in the mid-credits and basically says, I'll do it myself. And it's a bit, what? So, story is Moana needs to reconnect these islands because apparently none of these island people can find the other island people because they need to be reconnected by an island in the centre of all the islands, which will then connect all the others, but it's been buried under the ocean by the bad guy Narwhal. Narwhal, I think was his name. So Moana must travel out with some friends of hers to find this island and get Maui to raise it. It basically follows all the narrative beats of the first one. The songs, it's not Lin-Manuel Miranda this time, and none of the songs have any hooks. One of them literally goes, I am Moana, during it to remind you of a better song. And at the end of the film, it does the same music as Moana, the away, away, do, 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 do. It does that song again because it doesn't really have any faith that its own songs are all that memorable. It's very odd. I think a lot of people are being a little bit sniffy about it because it did start life as a Disney Plus TV series that it decided to turn into a film. And it looks good. It's not like it's suddenly like TV animation. And yeah, I mean, it looks good. It's got some good funny moments in it. The coconut people, the Kakamora, play a larger part. I enjoy them. Hey, the chicken gets some good stuff to do. Enjoyed that. But it doesn't have the classy, almost like profundity of the first one. The first one feels like a very special, unique object. This one feels like Moana 2.
Right.
It's breaking records all over the place. It's done just under 400 million worldwide its opening weekend. wild. It will do over 1 billion easy. That is absolutely a reflection of the goodwill that people have towards Moana than the quality of Moana 2.
Yeah, it very much is. People really like Moana, so they're going to go and see Moana 2. Fair enough.
But it's not awful. I enjoyed my time with it. So there we are. Now forgive me, I just want to find out what's happened in the FA Cup draw.
Oh yeah, the FA Cup draw's been happening now, hasn't it?
Fucking hell, Arsenal, Man United.
Ooh. Oof.
Boom.
That's...
you guys have got Accrington Stanley.
Oh, who are they? That is a reference that nobody under the age of, I would say, 38, 39, and specifically English will understand.
The Guardian has literally put Liverpool versus Accrington Stanley. Who are they in their live updates?
Oh fucking hell!
Ah, fuck. We've got Sheffield away.
Sheffield
Great.
United on Wednesday.
Yeah, United.
Why?
Sure.
The BBC doesn't even have the actual draw out. It's just got all the numbers for who's going to be drawn. No, just show me the fucking draw.
Newcastle versus Bromley. Good on Bromley. That'll be a nice day out.
FA Cup.
Sorry, folks. This must be very boring, but fuck it.
Stockport have got Forest. No, it's not Forest. They beat Forest Green, didn't they? Who have they got?
Chelsea, Morecambe.
Chelsea against Morecambe. Okay, now.
Stockport got Crystal Palace at Palace.
That's a decent... Oh, at Palace is a bit... There.
Fucking hell, Tamworth versus Spurs.
Spurs often get like quite decent... what's it? They played Marine a few years ago.
Wycombe Portsmouth will be tasty. Wycombe will fancy that.
Yeah.
Portsmouth have been fucking rubbish.
Who did?
Manchester City versus Salford City. That's fun. That's fun.
That is quite fun, actually, that. Yeah, that is pretty fun.
Right. Anyway. Conclave!
I think Bex is I think very close to being with us.
Oh, I go pee then.
Right, I'll go and grab a drink.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. Message will be there
Hey.
in 2 seconds.
Cool.
Hello.
All right, dickhead, what you been up to?
Working like a wage slave.
Nice.
I'm here now.
But in terms of shit that people actually want to hear about, what have you been up to?
Yeah, we've been watching.
Oh.
We've just done ours.
Oh, okay. Have you spoken about
Picked up on
planes?
that, Fred, didn't you?
Yeah, sorry. Have you spoken about planes, trains, and automobiles?
Well, yeah, but you can speak about it as well if you want.
Well, no, there's not really much to say, is there?
It's planes, trains, and
we watch it
automobiles.
every year.
Yeah.
Planes, trains, and automobiles. It's fucking mint. Okay, so I watched. I haven't watched that much, to be perfectly honest. I watched Needful Things, the Stephen King thing. I don't know whether that was a mini-series. It's on Prime as just a movie, but I don't know whether it was originally released as an episodic kind of, one of the two-parters that were a thing.
No, it's a movie.
It's got, what's his face in it? Ed Harris.
Ed Harris,
It's got Bonnie Bedelia in it. Max von Sydow's there as the devil. It's a fucking good time.
Is it?
It is actually genuinely mint. It's Needful Things. Like it's such a trash panda of a film. Like it's just like stupid. It's stupid, but it's like it's the. So I mean, you've seen it, haven't
Yeah.
you? Have you seen it, Ian? Are you aware of the story?
I am aware of the story.
Yeah. So basically, like, he gets people to play pranks on the people that it doesn't actually matter. Like, they don't have anything against the people they're playing the pranks on, but the people that are being pranked think it's the people that they have beef with. So it engenders all this, like, bad feeling. It's like, yeah, and everything just goes to shit. And then Ed Harris just loses his
It's like
shit.
world politics right now.
Well, yeah, basically, yeah. But yeah, just a really fucking good time. I also watched some shite movie about a green lady, but we're not going to talk about that.
You went to see Wicked, didn't you? You did not get on with it.
What a bag of shit. But yeah, do you know what? I'm not going to talk about it because A, it made me really angry, and B, a lot of people do really like it, and I have nothing against people liking things. It's just not. So I guess I am going to talk about it. So it's not the adaptation that I wanted to see, and I'm very aware it's adapted from the musical, but there's quite a lot to the book, and it's got quite a lot to say that I think would have translated quite well to a movie. Like in the same way that, say, I don't know, a Harry Potter. It's family friendly fare, but it speaks to deeper themes. The book is kind of like that, and I think the musical and the film. I've not seen the musical, but the film of the musical seems to be trying to do that, but it's just so fucking surface, and it's. It just wasn't for me.
I'm a week away from it, and I genuinely cannot remember a single song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Popular. It's gonna be popular.
My brain has already replaced that with a Nada Surf song.
Then you'll defy gravity.
Yeah. See,
Yeah,
the thing
there you
is,
go.
Before I saw it, everyone was banging on about defying gravity. Oh yeah, it's just so. It's such a really great moment. Fucking in. It's fine. It's just another song.
So you're not looking forward to part 2 then?
I probably won't watch it if I'm honest.
That's fine.
I think it was quite a nice touch to have like what is it? Kristen Chenoweth and
Some other
Adele Dazeem.
Idina Menzel in it. Yeah, I thought that was quite a nice little touch. But apart from that, no, not for me. Erevo's got some fucking pipes on it though, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know, and Ariana Grande's cleaned up my sinuses for me with all the high-pitched fucking whistle notes that she did, so good times.
Nice.
But yes, one thing that I did watch that I really, really enjoyed was The Mitchells versus the Machines. Hey, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
What's that movie from a few years ago? It's a family film. We really liked it. I think it's got a camper van in there. I found
When you say RV...
Did I get it?
But you did, and it doesn't have a camper van in it.
No, that's still the which film you meant.
Do you know how I got it?
Because I texted you and said, is it the Mitchells versus the Machines?
I'd got it before that, but I am stunned that you got it from my shitty description. I got it because I remembered that it came out either the same year as Onward or the same year as Luca, and I just googled what year they came out, and then googled family movies released 2021. I found it.
Fair.
You got it from my shit description.
What was
The Mitchells versus the Machine is fucking mint. It stands up really well. It wasn't just like, oh my god, a kids film that's not shit, and we were all like taken up with that. It's just really genuinely a solid movie.
I haven't watched it since we watched it the first time. It's only a couple of years old, isn't it? But I do remember really enjoying it when we watched it. Like really enjoy it when we watched it. I think I think that the consistent. There's a point in it where for about 10 minutes it consistently has you laughing.
Yeah. No, it's really good. And dog, pig, loaf of bread. It's just mint when the robots can't work out what the fucking dog is.
I don't remember that bit.
Yeah, so they can't, because it's like a pug or something,
yeah,
isn't it? And they can't work out whether it's a dog, a pig, or a loaf of bread, and then their brains fry. But it's repeated over and over again through the movie. She uses them as a shield on the front of the car.
I do remember that bit now. Them thinking it's a loaf of bread.
It's just really good. It's just really, really good. Like, and that's a joke that's aimed at grown-ups. But it's not done in a wink, oh look, here's something for you, ignore the kiddies kind of way. It's just fucking there.
It's not a Dear Santa child molestation joke, is it?
Oh god.
No. But what is?
What is though? So, to be fair, it's a really good joke. Made me laugh.
Yep.
Child molestation often make you laugh, or
When doing that way, yeah.
yeah?
Done in that way.
When it's the punchline to a Jack Black joke, yeah, it does.
Fair, and that's it. That's all I've watched.
What the fuck?
I know. I'm a letdown.
You are. Well, you also watched this though. The next movie we're going to cover.
Bitchy car.
Conclave!
I have a feeling Ian's going to really like this.
Conclave is directed by Edward Berger
Yes.
and stars Ray Fiennes, A Touch of the Tooch, John Lithgow, and others. Oh, there are others. Oh, Isabella Rossellini's in it as well.
Yep.
So
Time has not been kind to Isabella Rossellini.
I believe I gave you my views of what she looks like.
I don't think the people need to know that you said she looked like a ball bag.
Not specifically, she looked like a face drawn on a left ball back.
Yeah, true.
rough. When Cardinal Lawrence is tasked with leading one of the world's most secretive and ancient events, selecting a new pope, he finds himself at the centre of a conspiracy that could shake the very foundation of the Catholic Church. That's not really a conspiracy, it's just a bunch of fucking people have got their own agendas who want to be pope or want particular people to be pope, and then somebody gets the popedom, and then, spoiler alert, turns out they're biologically a woman.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, when they said about the clinic thing, I said to you, oh my god, wouldn't it be mint if it turned out it was like a sex change clinic and like they just elected a woman as pope?
Yeah.
And then they pussied out a little bit, didn't they?
They did hit the bitch button a little bit, yeah. But we'll get into it.
I mean, you're not getting to like your 30s and not noticing you've got a, no penis and a vagina down there instead.
Unless one was tucked into the other.
But you'd notice the no penis, wouldn't you?
I know the flimsy excuse. Well, I just didn't really think that there was that normal. Fuck off!
Oh my god, yeah, because he says about, I was, I grew up in seminary and it's all very modest. I didn't really notice anything was different.
Did the outgoing Pope just, like, put him in there for the lols to, like, just chuck a grenade in?
Well, no, because he was a man, wasn't he? But he also had female reproductive organs. So I guess outwardly, he was...
I don't know, I think the guy was just being a little bit of a cheeky Pope.
A little cheeky Pope.
Yeah.
I think he was a cheeky Pope.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is just, they're all gossipy bitches.
Yeah.
And they're all just scheming, conniving knobheads.
I was watching it thinking, this is quite problematic how they're handling this. I don't know if I'm comfortable with this. And then I remembered it was based on the Catholic Church, so of course it was problematic.
Yeah.
So I was, within the framework of the movie, their insensitive handling of the subject was fine.
I mean, it almost was a pleasant surprise that there wasn't any child molestation stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. They kind of stay away from that, I think, quite well, to be honest. And it's just, well, one of them was a bit of a shagger, and the other ones were just kind of just knobheads.
Yeah, I mean, like, you had a shagger, a fascist, a dickhead,
and people who definitely didn't want the popedom, but of course they actually did.
But even then, I mean, old Cardinal Lawrence, it was like, he only really wanted it when people actually started talking about him.
Yeah.
Because he had no airs and graces about it to start with. And it was just when people were like, no, I'm going to vote for you. But yeah, anyway, but I mean, I suppose we're kind of talking generally anyway. But Bex, how did you get on with it though?
Yeah, do you know what? I really enjoyed it. I know I took the piss a bit in the run up to watching it about it being like the boring bit that they didn't show you in Angels and Demons, but like that was always just a joke. I was looking forward to it because I like movies about Catholic shit. I find it fascinating. It's all a bit weird though. Like, why do they choose a different name? Anyway, and his, like, what was he called? Benitez.
Yeah.
His chosen name. What the fuck? I don't think you're allowed to do that. I thought it had to be one of the...
There are certain names, but I think that is one of them that they're allowed, but it's just one that they wouldn't normally go for.
Innocentius.
Yeah.
Lols. But yeah, I was expecting it to be interesting, but not necessarily a fun time. But then they were all just real, like, bitchy bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I loved it. It was like watching Sunset Beach in the Vatican. Great. Just a really, really good time.
Mark, thoughts?
Yeah, I was looking forward to it, but I was also a little bit kind of worried that it might be a little bit too vegetables.
Yeah.
Like it just might be a big old bowl of raw broccoli. And I it's not really. It is an awful lot of old white men talking to each other. In talking very seriously about effectively the Catholic version of the
Prom
X Factor.
Queen.
Or Prom Queen, yeah. It's probably a more accurate description, yeah. And it is kind of that. And there are, like, inner politics of the workings of it, of saying, that, it's the way that they'll take the church in different places. But for a large kind of majority of, like, the Pope doesn't really do that much. Apart from constantly meet footballers.
Like the Queen?
Yeah, a little bit. But the Queen of Catholics. But I like the fact that it is just very bitchy and just very much them just kind of just try to fuck each other over a little bit, and a lot of grandstanding.
It's got some real high school energy.
Yeah,
hasn't it?
and I think that is absolutely done by Edward Berger. You know, whether it's written like that, whether it's chosen to direct like that, because it is based on a book. Is it Robert Harris? So whether or not it's based on that in the book, but the fact that a lot of it is within the grounds, which feels quite schooly, or it's in the cafeteria.
Yeah, I commented, didn't I, when they were on the buses, so they're going on a school trip, and
on the bus and bits like that. So it does have a very schoolyard vibe to it. It's done like that. When they're at the school, you even get the fascist Italian, wannabe Pope Cardinal saying, "Look, everyone's kind of split off.
Yeah.
You got the Italians here and the French there."
It's like the start of Mean Girls.
Yeah, and it was a little bit like that on the start of any 80s movie.
All right.
And I really kind of enjoyed that, and the fact that you've got Ray Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, Jonathan Lithgow, they're the right level of good actors, but they're not so grounded in I am always serious. All of them have played comedic roles very well. So they can kind of get across the kind of pomposity and ridiculousness of this without ever nodding and winking at the camera.
Ray Fiennes getting blown up when he was putting his little thing in the thing was funny.
Yeah. There was elements of that. And Jonathan Lithgow just being bad at lying.
Jonathan Lithgow?
Yeah.
By his Sunday name?
Yes. What do you think to Ian?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was fun. I think it's interesting that, again, this is one that seems to be getting quite a bit of Oscar attention, because it feels like it would have made way more money and had way less Oscar buzz in the 90s. But we're at the point now where it's like a solidly made thriller drama thing for adults with a decent cast is enough to go, yeah, give it some Oscar nominations.
Or at least have it be the talk of it. Like you said, it had something like A Few Good Men, for instance, been released within the past couple of years, it would have probably got nominated for 11 or 12 Academy Awards. And in reality, I don't even think it got nominated for one.
I mean, that's exactly it. It just, and that's okay, but these films seem to be so kind of thin on the ground now. Like, and I don't think any of us have seen Juror Number 2 yet, but it's like that film gets put out on 50 screens in the US and just seems to disappear, and it's a bit like, why? It feels like it would have the same audience as Conclave, and Conclave's made good money in the US.
Yeah, and apparently it's Juror Number 2. It's decent. Yeah, apparently it's good.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's an odd state of affairs, I think, when this is getting that kind of attention. So I think it kind of almost set me up like for some wrong expectations. Except people were like, there were other people saying like it's basically an airport novel, and I don't know. It's like an elevated airport novel, but
the thing there is
it's fine. It's good.
It's the idea that it's an airport novel because people are saying, and I've heard that people are saying that in a very kind of like to talk it down way. But I'm a little bit like, yeah, but... And the 90s example that you're using there is perfect. Because we got a lot of really good movies out of, like, effectively airport novels. So a lot of John Grisham. There's a lot of John Grisham in the 90s.
Dan Brown.
Dan Brown in the 90s. And then, you had... what's his face who wrote Silence of the Lambs? Richard Harris, yeah. So you've got these. You had these were books that people read on holiday. I don't see why that's a necessarily a bad thing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't think it is. It's not. It doesn't feel like it's one of literature's great works, but that's fine. I thought Ralph Fiennes was good. It's kind of mad how John Lithgow is just so shifty from the start and just remains shifty. But yeah, I didn't think there was an awful lot of nuance to that character, to be honest. And Isabella Rossellini is there to give a monologue. Yeah, and that's it.
She's basically there to tell them off.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that bit from her though.
I know it's good. It's good, but again, it's like there's buzz around her potentially getting a Best Supporting Actress nomination. It's like, come on,
that would be wild.
Yeah, and so it's like I'm definitely not shit. I think it's one of the most 4 out of 5 films. Yeah. I don't think it's doing anything to particularly warrant that it's one of the best films of the year, but it's very solid. I'll never watch it again. It's very solid. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I could see myself watching it again, for sure. Yeah. But just because I this kind of shit is very much my jam. But yeah, like I say, it's an emphatically 4 out of 5 movie. Which is exactly what I gave it on Letterboxd. Definitely not shit.
Yeah, definitely not shit.
And our audience poll was definitely not shit, 83%, and touching cost 17%. So there you go.
Now then, we are into questions, and we saved a question for this week.
We did indeed. Let me just find it. From Dylan Black Lanterns. It's been confirmed Mark is the idiot. What are the other two of you? I'm the idiot. I'm assigned.
But you're only an idiot. Like, you're a very knowledgeable idiot, though. Like, you know your shit. You just like dumb stuff. Don't you?
I stand by the things I like.
You like what you like and you're not ashamed of it.
I am not ashamed of anything that I like. No, never have been, never fucking will be.
I'm the bully.
The
I just bully you. I don't know, really. What am I?
Don't know.
Got me questioning my entire existence. Don't know what I contribute to the table.
I think you're the straight talker.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. No fuss, no muss. It's just, here's my opinion. Fuck off.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, because like...
I think I'm the wanderer.
I think that's true. Yeah.
See, I think you both are both very knowledgeable about the inside baseball shit, like the technical shit. You know what aspect ratios are and stuff like that.
You know what aspect ratio is.
I'm the idiot when it comes to that side of things. Like, I don't have the encyclopedic knowledge of the history of film like you do. I just know what I do and don't like. And I know about Stephen King books. That's it. That's what I bring.
That's what you bring. Yeah, I would say you are, yeah. Ian's the wanderer, you're the straight talker, and I'm the idiot.
I'm not an idiot. Oh, that feels really mean.
I don't care. I'm fine with it.
Right, Bex, you call him an idiot like at least 3 times a show, and now because somebody else has called him it.
No. I know what I mean. I mean, I feel mean classifying him as the idiot.
You're still gonna do it though.
You are a bit fucking dumb though, aren't you? You really like Pauly Shore movies.
Nothing wrong with the Pauly Shore movie. I was telling the
I like
audience...
how passionately you'll defend shit things that you like, though.
Fair. I was telling the audience about my confused Chinese order.
Oh, God. I mean, it was good because you ordered too much and I got leftover food.
Yep.
So that was fine.
Oh, I'm trying to think if you have any other questions.
Yeah, Yeah, maybe you are the idiot.
Thanks.
You're pretty though, so it makes up for it.
We do have one other question for this week. Oh no, it's not even a question, it's feedback. Mega disappointed none of you liked challenges. We had a good time. That's me from Bar.
Oh.
I'm going to try and rewatch challenges before end of year. Well, I've got like about another 6 to 8 weeks until we do our end of year. Well, no, like 5 weeks, I think so. 5 or 6 weeks to do our end of year show.
Do you know what
There's
I found
a few that I want to
really
rewatch.
disappointing about challenges? And I will give it another chance because I really wanted to like it.
What?
How unerotic it was for something that was supposedly an erotic drama.
I think that was
if
issue.
that's what passes for erotic cinema nowadays, then honestly, this weird prudish new generation needs to get a fucking grip and watch some porn.
Or just Basic Instinct.
It was just real vanilla.
I tell you what, he's banging these films out like a motherfucker, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
You know, Queer's out this year. You know, I know Challenges was pushed back, so that should have been last year. So effectively, it is Bones and All 2022, Challenges 2023, Queer 2024, and then After the Hunt is going to be 2025.
I'm real concerned for Queer because like I think it looks good. I'm interested in the premise, but there's literally one film of God only knows that I like.
I'm really looking forward to Queer seeing what he does with the William S. Burroughs book. Because the book's very good.
I'm hoping it's more Bones and All than anything else he's made. Bones and All's really good.
I've liked everything but Suspiria. But I didn't get on with Challenges, but I didn't actively dislike it like I did Suspiria.
Suspiria's awful.
Yeah, fair enough, that's fair.
It's got it's its own thing on the podcast for a reason.
Yes. What we're covering next week, Ian?
Oh my god, wicked Suspiria.
What the fuck are we covering next week?
What did you say, Beth?
Wicked would be my Suspiria for the year if I'd been on the full review.
What is out next week?
I don't know. I haven't done very well here. Hang on.
It's because I can't remember what date it is.
It's the 6th, because the week after is Craven the Hunter and Queer.
Oh, fuck, wow.
Oh, that's right. Night Bitch.
We said we weren't watching that because she doesn't turn into a dog.
I mean, she doesn't turn into a dog. So, we've got Andre Rieu's Christmas concert, Gold and Silver.
Oh, do you know what? I was so it's a quick side quest. Mark finally sent me a thing for Blue Sky. Blue Sky? Yeah, yesterday. And I was looking through my phone for a picture of myself to use as my like profile picture. And I said to Mark, I've literally got more pictures of Andre Rieu on my phone than I have of myself.
Hell yeah.
Every time I see a poster, I take a picture and send it to you.
You do. It's very funny and I do enjoy it.
We'll cover
That's
something,
great.
is what I'll say.
Yeah.
Might be a bit of a surprise.
I'm trying to see what I feel like it's the time of year where there'll be something on Netflix that's relatively big that's dropping.
Yeah, there'll be something Netflix
What about
on.
Pushpa 2, The Rule?
I am
what?
not watching a 3-hour, 18-minute Bollywood movie.
I mean, you say that, but A, it's not Bollywood, it's Tollywood, and B, RRR existed.
I'm alright for now.
I might go see it.
That's fine, you can go and see it.
I'd have to watch Pushpa The Rise Part 1 first, though.
Yep. You have at it.
Oh, that sounds actually
Sure.
pretty sick. Action sequel to the hugely popular and successful Pushpa The Rise Part 1. Allu Arjun returns as the lead character to rule over the underworld he has created for himself. I might watch them.
It's 3 hours, 20
I don't
minutes
give a
long.
shit.
Fine. Becky might watch the Pushpa movies.
Yeah, man. Is it
And
on
me and
it?
Ian will cover whatever fucking random Lindsay Lohan movie is out on.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like there is
Oh my God,
anything
it's
really
on
out on
Prime.
Netflix.
Pushpa number 1 is on Prime, yes.
That Lilo one's on Netflix now, I think.
I am fairly certain that Juror number 2 is going on to streaming in the US.
Oh, God, yeah, if that's available, let's do during number 2. She doesn't turn into a dog in Night Bitch, so I'm not interested.
She done. So it just looks weird with no payoff.
Yeah.
If Night Bitch has really good actual reviews, I might go and see Night Bitch. But
there's just no word. It feels like there's no word on that film whatsoever, though.
But it's just when I watched the last trailer and she was like jumping on the table, like eating. I was like, if she doesn't turn into a dog, what's the point in any of this?
I agree.
I know that someone could say it's everything about it's because you're a white straight guy, you don't understand the perils of motherhood and all this lot. And I'm a bit like, that's fine.
I do, and I think it looks shit.
So I'm not going to watch the movie.
There you go.
There you go, straight talker.
Straight talker, Becky.
Yep.
It does look shit, though. Get a grip.
5, how long is it?
14 years long. 1 hour 38.
That's a decent time for a movie, to be fair.
It's not bad.
I don't need to be looking at that for 1 hour and 38 minutes.
Looking at that.
That film, yeah.
Yeah, that's
very good.
That's what you meant.
Yeah, God knows what we're going to review, but hopefully during number 2. There we are. Right. Let's get out of here. I've been Ian. She's been...
Becky!
He's been...
An idiot.
Yay!
And Jason...
Go fuck yourself!
Hang on. Oh, there was just like a soupçon of a fart there that I tried to get on mic.
Ew.
We could cover Nutcracker, the David Gordon Green's latest I'm a Coward, I'll Do a Christmas movie.
We could do. There's many other things we could do.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.